Today we're diving into something every entrepreneur faces, failure. But here's a twist. Failure isn't the end. It's often the beginning of something much better. I've said it before, you have to learn to reframe failure as an entrepreneur. Today I'm sharing how my biggest failure led to me making more money since the pandemic than I ever did in my entire corporate career. Picture this. I was $30,000 in debt, waiting on a client who hadn't paid the second half of a big project, stuck with credit at 40% interest. I had $7,000 a month in payroll and my product was not selling. I sold all my investments, even my house in Houston. Everyone said they loved my product, but it just wasn't moving. So I had to make that gut-wrenching decision to shut everything down. Now, fast forward to today. I'm what you might call unemployable, but in the best way. The income I generate now selling my own services far exceeds what any corporation would pay me. So how did I go from $30,000 in debt to earning more than I could have ever earned in corporate? It all came down to understanding the one crucial mistake I made in my first business. And that changed everything. Like many of you, I started my business with an idea and a ton of grit. I created a unique product, a bi-weekly report that gave political, economic, and commercial insights for over 30 Caribbean markets. It was designed to make doing business in the Caribbean easier by offering everything in one place. After 18 months of building, I was confident, my data was solid, and a marketing study even confirmed the product's viability. I fully expected to replace my corporate salary within 2 years. And so I quit my job and launched. But no matter how hard I tried, sales just weren't happening. I traveled. I met with clients. I went to conferences. I networked, gave talks, hired top salespeople, did cold calls, PR, social media, radio, TV interviews. Nothing worked. Here's where I made my biggest mistake. I spent years developing an information product that no one had time to read. I started with a product, not with a client. And worse yet, I was pouring money into payroll for deeper analysis. I was investing in longer and more complex reports that no one had time to read. That's why they weren't selling. So there I was. I had no savings. I was maxed out on my credit and dealing with major personal challenges, and the business was dead. I just couldn't keep going, like financially, emotionally, there was nothing left. And so I shut the publications down. I closed up shop. And that is where the real turning point came. I had a client who was just brilliant. I'd listen to her speak and say, wow, she just needs a bigger stage because she can really move an audience. And her ideas are so bright. So I joke with her and I said, hey, let me sell your services. She always said no. I got other things going on. Or people used to getting me for free so no one will pay. Or I don't need a website. Same things a lot of us think when we get into selling our services. You know, we all get these thoughts, oh, who am I to be doing this or that? Layer on top of that, her corporate career, kids, and everything else. So she always said no to me in the past. But I asked again because we'd always talk, and I know she was just tired of that lifestyle. Waking up at 4 a.m. to beat traffic into town, not even getting to see her kids in the morning, full day at the office, and getting home so exhausted, and then having to do homework and cooking and laundry, and get up at 4 a.m. the next day. I knew she wasn't sold on having a website. But I thought, let me ask again. I just said, maybe it won't work. But maybe I can sell your services and then you could eliminate that commute. You wouldn't have to get up at the crack of dawn. You wouldn't have to chug 2 liters of chai tea in the morning just to get yourself going. You'd be able to spend more time with your kids, where you want, how you want. Maybe it won't work, but maybe it will. And she said, you know what? Go ahead, Melissa. Build me a website. And if you can sell my services, great. And I'll tell you how that story ends in just a minute, but there's a nuance here, and I don't want to just skip over it. I had been asking her for years to let me build her a website like a product. And now you can say I was selling her on the idea of building a lifestyle, a good night's sleep, valuable time with her kids. She wasn't saying yes to a website. She was saying yes to a dream outcome. Here's the catch. I didn't know how to package and sell consultancy. I'd never done that. I didn't know what to charge. So I reached out to my old clients. I figured, hey, her expertise was in the same field that my reports had covered. And that's when I discovered the gold. Those same clients would pay her per hour what they weren't so eager to pay me per year for my reports, for the exact same information. But here's the difference. When she presented it, it was explained to them instead of making them read it. So it was given to them in the way they wanted it. It was solving their problem. That was their dream outcome. So I took my old email list, over 3,000 opt-ins, and started selling her advisory services. But this time I didn't assume I knew what clients wanted. I called dozens of my former clients and I asked them about their pain points, challenges, their struggles. And in a matter of weeks, I had all the insights I needed. I built her services around solving their problems instead of pushing a product. Now, what was my biggest surprise? It worked. Her services were selling and the business grew. Other people started asking me to sell their services too. Why? Because they saw her getting results and wanted the same thing too. And funny enough, I'm a marketer, but for the last 7 years, I haven't even needed marketing. My business has grown purely on referrals. So let's start wrapping up. Here's what you can take from my experience. Business is not about creating products. It's about solving problems. It's about solving real problems for real people. So always start with the client. Think about the lives that are better because they've worked with you. Think of how their lives can change. What problem are you solving for them? Understand their worries. Are they stressed about their job? Are they worried about missing out on the promotion or not getting their bonus? What about their reputation? And what's stopping them from fixing it themselves? To get this information, simply ask them. Once you understand their problems on a deep level, you can craft an offer they can't refuse. Structure your services around solving that problem and make sure your marketing reflects that you've been listening. So, if you feel stuck, like you're working hard and getting nowhere, take a pause. Go back to your clients and ask them what they want. Success comes when you solve real problems. I've doubled my business several times by letting my clients' needs guide me. Keep tuning in because on future episodes, I'll share strategies on how to create service packages, how to price them, and how to ask for the sale. I'm Melissa Marchand, grateful to support you with tactics that work for selling your services. And if you know someone else who can benefit from this, please share the episode.